everyone, my name is Rebecca from the Goulet Stitchery. Today I'm here to talk to you about, well, Pilot pens again for the most part, but more specifically, I'm here to talk to you about Pilot steel nibbed pens and budget type pens, and even more specifically than that, nib compatibility, although that's a little bit more complicated a subject. So I am just getting out a little bit of materials from my binder because I have a fountain pen binder for like fountain pen parts, and they are related to this conversation. So two more things. Here we go. So I have before you a selection of Pilot budget fountain pens. And this is by no means a complete selection, not even close, but these are what I personally own right now. And I used to own as well a Pilot Prera, or more specifically I owned two of them. However, I really did not like those pens. They were a little short and I just found them a little uncomfortable to hold, so I ended up selling those off. But these are the ones I kept, and I have a little bit more to show you as well that relates to these. So first of all, this is, like I said, by no means a complete list, but I wanted to check whether or not I can swap the nibs from different budget Pilot pens into other ones so that I can get specific body and nib combinations that are more precise to what I want. For the most part, Pilot is my favorite brand of pen, but I do have some Sailor, and one of the benefits of Sailor pens is that pretty much all of the models use the same nib section, so this part, and I can just swap nibs from one Sailor pen into the other. That's not true of Pilot, so I'm going to just show you some of what I'm talking about. Let me get this one open because I haven't even tried this one out. Got this one specifically for this video. So what we have is, this is actually a Wingsung 659, which is a clone of a Pilot 78. Let me get out one of those for you. It's stuck. Okay, here we go. Go. Pilot 78. These, I believe, are discontinued, and then these started appearing after that. So there's like a lot of talk on the market that Wingsung just, you know, bought the equipment when they stopped making these or something. Anyway, they are completely compatible. I actually have a real Pilot 78 nib in my Wingsung 659. Purely because I wanted a demonstrator body. This is really what spurred this entire video. I wanted demonstrator bodies for my Pilot 78 nibs. That is the nib from this pen. So, Pilot 78 has stub nibs on their broad and double broad. So they end up with a really chunky stub. Let's see if I can get this to work, because the reason I am still hunting for the proper body, because the Wingsung 659, even though it fits the nib, has really terrible capping and it dries out all the time. Come on. No, you get the point. So, yeah, as cool as this looks, I cannot leave my beloved nib in this. This is no, it's unacceptable. So, I wanted to try and see if it can fit in, well, I already know it fits in this. We'll talk about that in a second. Pilot Explorer or Pilot Crystal. The reason I chose these two is because this one, even though the nib is silver, the clip is black, so I don't have to worry about the trim not matching. This one, the trim does match. Is this a pop or a... One moment. What am I looking at? I have never opened this one, so I'm not actually sure. Is it friction fit or screw on, or I don't No. Oh, that's great. That's not what I wanted. Something's stuck here. I got off the back. I can't get... Let's take that out. Why is this stuck? What am I... What the... I don't really know what happened here. There's a little gold ring that just came off. What is this nonsense? How did it... I have no idea what's going on with this pen, so I'm just going to sideline this one for a bit, and I'll see if I can find anything online about what's going on with that. Anyway, Pilot Kakuno. These are pretty ugly, and despite what they look like, you cannot eyedropper them unless you close up the holes in the back. But they do take Pilot 78 nibs, not the whole section. The section doesn't fit. So if I take this out, and I know you're thinking, why are you going through this much effort for a cheap, yeah, that won't fit, a cheap Pilot 78G. I just really love these stub nibs. I adore them. So yeah, that doesn't fit. But if you take the nib and the feed out, you can pop it into the Pilot Kakuno. I'm not going to do that on camera because it's honestly kind of fiddly and I'm nervous I'd mess it up on camera, but you got to be careful not to break the feed, of course. They're just friction fit, so if it's wet, you can get it out fairly easily. But so yeah, nib and feed fit, section does not. Then we've got the Pilot Explorer. I should really just leave these unscrewed instead of constantly too big. All right, cool. But will the nib fit? And for that, I'm going to take out an extra nib instead of taking out one that has ink on it. So I actually have 4 Pilot 78s. Does this one still have a... Yes, it does. Okay, so you gotta be really careful. Oh, okay, that one came out easily. And so the answer to that question is yes. The Pilot 78G nib and feed fit into the Pilot Explorer, but the section does not. Okay, so that answers that. I'll just put that back, put the original back on it. I'm not using it right this moment anyway, so how does that fit on there? There we go. You can't see it very well on camera, but there's like a little notch here, and the nib sets into the notch, and then it just punches back in there. So that's that. Now I'm pretty sure that the Pilot Metropolitan has the same nib size. Now this is a super common pen, has a nice metal body to it. I see these everywhere. I'm pretty sure I had one as one of my first fountain pens, and it is the same section, so you can do that. However, silver trim, gold nib. All Pilot Metropolitans have silver trim. This is the only reason I have not done this, because I really hate gold nibs with silver trim. That said, if you don't care about that, that does fit, which also means that the nibs from the Explorer and the Kakuno, if you take them out of their nib section, will fit in this nib section. They all have the same size nibs, just different. Well, these are the same, and then these two are different. Which actually begs the question, are these two interchangeable? I don't know. I Haven't tried that yet. I don't think so, though. They're very different sizes. No. No, those will not work. I really just... Okay. I'm just going to put the bodies away because I keep constantly unscrewing them and screwing them back together, and that is completely unnecessary. Okay. Cool. And don't really need to leave this one out because it's the same section. So we have the Pilot Lucina. This one is a bit more expensive than the others. And it's gold trim, which is the whole reason I bought it. I was like, oh, gold trim, maybe this one will work. But unfortunately, it is a different size, and this doesn't work. Like, it looks like it worked, but it won't go all the way, and it won't stay in right. Why did that work this time? Oh, that's why. Okay. It's not that this part won't screw on, but the cap won't fit, which is a pretty big problem, honestly. And as you can see, this section is much smaller in size than all of the others. So in that respect, it is not swappable. And when you take the nib and feed out, it is a completely different size and configuration than all of these other ones. So there are no nib swapping options for this one, unfortunately. I do really like this pen. All right, what else do I have? This is a vintage Pilot pen. You can find vintage Pilot pocket pens on eBay for really cheap. I think I paid like 30 bucks for this. I don't remember if this one has a gold nib or not. A lot of them will have gold, like 14 karat gold nibs. This one, I really can't remember. This is not usable for swapping in any way, shape, or form because of how long this is. But they're pretty cool pens, so I just wanted to show it to you. This one, I waited a long time to be able to get a floral one. I really like the floral ones. So this is fun, metal body. They last apparently forever because these are all vintage, but these are a fun option. This is a Pilot Parallel. It is not really useful on its own because it's stupid looking, but it is a fun stub to play with, and a lot of people use them for calligraphy, and I obviously never washed this one out. But can this feed fit an actual pen body? These are the questions. Because it's not a real nib, so. All right, no, it does not fit in the Kakuno. It does not fit in the Wingsung 659, which means it also won't fit in the 78G. And it does not fit in the Explorer. So no, it can't fit any of these. There are other hacks you can do to fit a Pilot Parallel nib into some other pens. I forget exactly which ones, but it's definitely something to look into if you really like using a Pilot Parallel, but you want a thicker, more comfortable pen body or better ink capacity. But can't use it to swap with any of these, unfortunately. Finally, we have the Pilot Petit. Now this one was a free gift with my Bungubox order, and has a snap cap, unscrews, and it's just so tiny, see? I mean, it even gets its own size cartridge because it won't fit normal ones. It's so small. All right, can it fit in any of these? Let's see. Does not fit in the 78G/Wingsung 659. Does not fit the Kakuno. And does not fit the Explorer. So no, it is not compatible with anything else. But it is adorable. And if you want a pocket pen, these are pretty cheap and very, very cute. I used to have a bunch of these that I eyedroppered, and they do work really, really well. I like these quite a bit. So, you know, that's something to keep in mind. All right, let's look at this again. What is going on with this one? Why won't it come out? I don't want to break it. It's vintage, like, I don't understand. this could even happen. Did it like change temperature or something maybe? Just for curiosity's sake, here's the body. It doesn't fit cartridges? What? Okay. Well, what if it didn't have a cartridge? Let's try the Metropolitan one because that's the same size. No, that won't fit. All right, so Pilot Crystal is not useful for just swapping the nib section in. I really wanted to see if the nibs would fit and I could just swap the nib and feed in, but with it stuck in the cap like that, I don't see any threads. It's gotta be, got it. Why was that stuck? I have no idea. Oh man, that was annoying. Okay, got it open. I don't think this is gonna work. I'm pretty sure these are different sizes, but I did get it out. So this is a 78G nib and feed and no. And if it's just the nib, no, the little things are the wrong shape. The little nubbly things. I don't know what those are called. So, no, I cannot use the Pilot Crystal for any swapping. That's too bad. Although, to be honest, it wasn't an expensive pen. I literally bought it just for this video so I could see if it was useful in any way, shape, or form. I am confused by the fact that it doesn't take a standard cartridge. That was a normal Pilot cartridge. I don't know how to test this without putting ink in it. Do I have any empty ones? Because when I empty out Pilot cartridges, I hold on to them. Well, it's not exactly the same, but I have those Moon Man ones. These might be a little longer than the real thing, though. Okay, that works fine. I don't really know what was going on there. It can take a cartridge. Also, this back thing just screws off constantly. That's so annoying. This is a very aggravating pen. I feel like I would have to super glue this back piece just so it wouldn't annoy me so much. I do not like this pen. And then it has like a gold ring that's supposed to go on here, I guess, for some reason. I don't know. If you want a transparent pen, you'd honestly be better off with probably the Explorer, because I do not like the Pilot Crystal at all. It is super aggravating. Alright. Hopefully it won't get stuck again, but no promises, because this is really tight for some reason. It's like, okay, so the thing in there, the plastic, I don't know what they're called, but they help with capping to make it so that the ink doesn't dry out. That's what's tight. I can maybe force it. Yeah, I forced it. But that's what it got stuck on in the first place for some reason. Okay. I don't know what's up with that. Whatever. So, if you go through my binder of stuff, I have all these pen parts. So these are Pilot converters. And they have a few different kinds, as you can see. So you have the piston type, you have the button type, and you have the squeeze type, which I think I actually have two versions of. Yeah, there's also this type. These are basically the same thing, it's just this one's on both sides and this one's this side. I do not remember what any of these are called. They all have names that are like con and then a number. I don't really like any of them, but they exist. So if you want a converter, you can do that. Just for fun, let's see if the converters fit different models, because different converters are going to fit different models. Now, this one has the highest ink capacity. I think it's called the Con 70. I think this one's the Con 50. Cannot for the life of me remember what this one is, but it comes with a lot of the cheaper models. So let's put this one back together, because this one we won't need for this particular experiment. So we're gonna take and let's put this back together. Here's the 78G. So, weird squeeze converter. Fits just fine. Con 50, I think. Fits just fine. Con 70 will never, ever, ever fit in here. No, it's too wide and it's also too long. So if you have a 78G, you can use the squeeze or the piston type, not the button type. Or just a cartridge, because cartridges are universal for these. I have another one of these out, apparently. How many of these do I have? A lot. The answer is a lot. Okay, I don't think any converters are gonna, no way. Because like, no, I don't think so. I don't really want to take the cartridge out. I think it's safe to say most converters are not going to fit a pocket pen like this. Maybe these two, because they are shorter. This one's the shortest, but no guarantees there. Well, okay, for the sake of science, I will do it, but if I get ink on me, I'm blaming you. Okay, so that one will work. And this one will work. So you can put these smaller converters in a Pilot pocket pen if you must. Or you can just use cartridges. Okay, I do love this pen, like a lot. I think I've already said that though. All right, what else? Let's do Kakuno and Explorer. So Kakuno, this one. Here's the Con 70. That fits. And obviously if the Con 70 fits, those two are gonna fit. Here's the Explorer. Because they all have the same mouth size, it's just the Con 70 is much thicker and longer than the other two. That actually fits. So you can put the Con 70 in the Explorer. Then we have the Lucina. And I am avoiding discussing the Pilot Petit because you already know there are no converters that fit that. So, Pilot Lucina, here's a Con 70. It's too wide, it's not gonna fit. You can use the other two, just not that one. Did I already do all of these? I think the only one left is the Metropolitan. So for the sake of it, I'm gonna put these back together so I don't get them mixed up. I mean, it's not like they would get mixed up, they don't fit each other. But I don't want to be messing with this. I haven't even tried the Explorer yet, but seeing as Pilot steel nibs are all basically the same, I'm sure it's the same as all my others. Okay. No, Con 70 won't fit. But you can still use the smaller converters. And I'm pretty sure that it comes with the squeeze converters, the ones like this. Possibly the one that's one button instead of both sides. I'm not sure where this one came from, to be honest. All right, so that is about it for this particular video. I hope it was at least a little bit educational, although it's definitely rambly, as all my pen videos tend to be. I do really love Pilot pens, like a lot, but if you're looking for, like if you really love, for example, your 78G's nib, because they have really awesome stub nibs, and you want to put it in a new body, don't do what I did and buy the Pilot Lucina and the Pilot Crystal and the Pilot Metro and hope that it will fit, because it won't. If you wanted a clear body for it, your options are Wingsung 659 that has terrible capping and will dry out constantly, or Pilot Explorer, Pilot Kakuno. Of these two, my preference is the Pilot Explorer just because it looks a little bit classier, but these are both decent options and the Kakuno is significantly cheaper. So I guess that's about it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you all again soon.